Hello, my name is 𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙚 and I'm a doctoral candidate in Applied Linguistics and English Education at Korea University. Today I'm going to present my proposal for second language learning materials entitled Using Humor for Intercultural Learning with South Korea's Psick Show. Okay, to get started, let's look at the background information for this proposal first. In the introduction, I want to rationalize why humor is important in intercultural competence. Humor plays a crucial role in teaching language. It's different from traditional views of language as fixed. Now we see language as flexible and focus on metalinguistic awareness. Bell and Pomerantz suggested that humor is powerful. It's not just for enjoyment, but it makes classrooms more engaging and helps students try things in language learning. They said we should aim to use humor in teaching. Also, humor is not just about enjoyment, but it makes language learning exciting and improves how we connect with others in different cultures. This idea fits well with the changing demands of intercultural competence. Now let's discuss how to incorporate humor into teaching intercultural learning. In the Korean language, there are crucial elements such as politeness, social hierarchies, and power relations. These complex linguistic elements present challenges for Korean as a foreign language learners. By recognizing its complexity, teachers should introduce these concepts pedagogically. Next, I will go through the literature review. And let me start with the basic theory of humor teaching strategy. The initial research on humor has explored the types and reasons behind its use in the classroom. Although teachers may use humor for various reasons, enhancing learning is often considered a crucial reason. Some studies suggested that humor facilitates learning, but others opposed to this statement. And Wenzer and the colleagues proposed the Instructional Humor Processing Theory, or IHPT, and they found that humor which is related to educational content positively correlated with student learning. However, inappropriate forms of humor did not. Now, how can we use humor in L2 learning? One study examined 243 L2 learners to find out which types of humor were most preferred in the classroom. And they found that spontaneous humor comments by teachers and visual humors such as memes and cartoons were most preferred by learners. Their findings are aligned with previous research like humorous teaching style enhanced English motivation of Japanese students, and humor can facilitate learning language by making efforts to understand ambiguous meanings in the context. However, there are some challenging issues that L2 learners may face with humor, since recognizing and comprehending why it is humorous does not always come together. And some types of humor, such as political satire, are difficult to understand. In other words, comprehending humor requires a holistic analysis of verbal, gestural, and prosodic elements. Another challenging point is that, although they understood the humor, it may not be funny. Some kinds of humor may be only appreciated in a certain culture. For example, self-deprecating or teasing may create an affiliation among similar cultural or ethnic groups. However, it may leave out the others who do not share the similarities. Moreover, some kinds of humor may have different meanings in different countries. However, by identifying, understanding, and appreciating the humor, L2 students will naturally learn the complexity of language and cross-cultural differences. Indeed, humor has its caveats to use in L2 classrooms. However, learning Korean is now a globalized phenomenon, which is labeled as the Korean wave. And enrollment numbers in Korean language courses have doubled over 14 years in U.S. higher education institutions. Also, the international language teaching app Duolingo reported that Korean language ranked 7th place in most studied language. Now in this section, I will present to you how Psick Show can be utilized as a teaching material for KFL learners. Before that, let me briefly introduce the show. The YouTube channel named Psick University is running the Psick Show, which is an English talk show. 3 Korean comedians host the show and target both Korean and global audiences. Also, they invite Korean and international celebrities, and every guest is required to speak English in the show. Mainly, they talk about the guest's new album, movie, and drama. The show supports learning the Korean language and culture through humor, such as language play and role-playing. They also provide English subtitles for more background information. And as we all know, YouTube is a social media that is accessible to everyone. Okay, then I will show you 2 video clips using role-playing and language play, and elaborate on how to use these clips to teach age hierarchy and interpersonal relationships in Korea. And also I will point out some words that KFL learners may find difficult. Lastly, I will suggest some questions to ask students before or after watching the show. Okay, the first topic is interpersonal relationship, which uses language play. The title is Call Me 𝙤𝙤, not Chris. This episode have Chris Pratt and the movie director. Let's watch it first.
What's up? I'm Chris Pratt.
You got Star-Lord!
Star-Lord!
Yes!
So the linguistic and cultural elements to teach here are Hyung and 𝙤𝙤. In this part, the host call him Star-Lord, and then they call his Korean name 𝙤𝙤. It is the Korean translation of each syllable of star and road. Let's watch it more.
So you know what 𝙤𝙤 means? Yes.
Yeah. Star, Lord, Star, Road.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's say 𝙤𝙤, alright?
Okay, as you saw, the subtitle explains how Star-Lord is 𝙤𝙤 in Korean. With this clip, you can teach how consonants are different between Korean and English. In English, R and L are different consonants, but in Korean, it is not. So when Korean people pronounce Lord and Road, there is no difference. If I were a teacher, I would ask students if they know any Korean names, and maybe I would show them some examples. In the end of this clip, the host call him 𝙤𝙤 형, and 형 means older brother in Korean. Here you can teach that Korean males create an affiliation with someone older by calling them 형, and vice versa, Korean males call 동생, which means younger brother, to younger people. And like many other countries, we call first name only to show intimacy between close relationships. And after they see the clip, I will ask students to make their own Korean name. And by making their own Korean names, they can make more concrete identity as KFL learners and feel more engaged in learning Korean. Okay, the second video's topic is age hierarchy. The title is Turning to 30s. This episode has RM from BTS and he learns how to act like men in their 30s. Okay, let's watch it first.
So you 29. Yes, sir. You're getting 30 next year. Yes, sir. Congratulations.
Congratulations! 진짜 남자는 30 club.
Yeah, we're all 30. We have to, teach you something. Oh, you have to change everything. Okay, you're not 20 anymore.
And as you can see from that line, you're not in your 20s anymore. It really emphasizes the age hierarchy culture in Korea. Okay, let's watch their role playing.
Cell phone etiquette.
So when you call your friends or your members, in 20s, how do you pick up a phone? It's like,
No! It's only 20.
that's 20 stuff.
Yeah.
Too young. You don't stick this cell phone in your ear. You use speakerphone. Yeah. You only use 3 fingers, like that.
Yeah.
Head goes down, speaker goes on, and
Yes.
you only say 3 words. 어디야? 뭐해? 넘어와.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
good.
That's what I'm talking about.
계속 불러봐.
어디야? 뭐하냐? 넘어와.
Yeah.
And KFL teachers can teach students how much Korean people emotionally feel different between their 20s and 30s. And also, as you may notice from the role playing, they act a little bit bossy when they act like 30s. For L2 students who are not familiar to age hierarchy, you may teach that Korean people put a lot of emphasis on age difference. Also, there is a traditional belief that younger people should respect elders, and elders should take care of younger people. Lastly, MZ generation is a Korean word that L2 learners may find difficult. This is Korean English, which is adopted from English word millennial generation or Gen Z. In Korean society, there is a noticeable generation gap between Gen Z and baby boomers. So this word is a recent trending word in Korea. And before watching this clip, I would ask students basic knowledge of age hierarchy, and after watching it, I would ask them if they had similar experiences related to this episode. Or I can ask them to compare their own culture's age hierarchy with Korean culture. Okay, lastly, I will present some pedagogical implications of this proposal. This proposal encourages to employ of not only Psick Show, but also other humorous videos to build meta-linguistic awareness of Korean language. And those videos will be your supplementary material to traditional textbooks. Usually those traditional textbooks may have outdated information about culture, and most textbooks teach 4 skills separately. But videos can provide a more holistic view of Korean language and culture. As you saw from the Chris episode, Korean people bond with each other by calling others hyung to older people. Not only this one, but many other episodes in Psick Show teach L2 students how to create an affiliation in Korea. Lastly, Psick Show and other YouTube videos are uploaded often and regularly to attract more subscribers, so teachers can provide more authentic language and culture in Korea through this show. Okay, that's the end of my presentation, and that's my email. And here are my references. And I would love to hear from you with any questions, and thank you for listening to my presentation.